Never fear of missing out by clicking that subscribe button and becoming another member of the Babylonian family. I'll be honest, I could not think of a song to be able to try and do anything, but hey ho, we're looking at the Disintegrator Revolver Legendary Guide. And what makes this gun so good, what makes it nice as a backup weapon when every single other gun runs out of ammo. So we're going to look at those in the stats in a few seconds, but first, Babylon is now partnered with Raffled Up, the one-stop shop to have the chance at scoring yourself some great tech at a low price. Raffled Up has made over 1,800 people happy with their competitions, ranging from store credit, GPUs, VR sets, and even full-on PC rigs to take your game into the next level. Keep your eye out for mega bundle competitions too for your chance to win several £1,000s worth of gear, all for less than the cost of a chippy. If you fancy your chances, make sure to use our partner code in the description below and save yourself some money while also supporting us as a channel. Best of luck and enjoy the content. Good day to you Babylonians, I hope you're feeling well, I hope you're feeling right, and today we are looking, as I mentioned, the Disintegrator Legendary Revolver. Now what makes this gun so special? Well, not much really, it kind of doesn't really stand out too much when it comes to the mods compared to Bolt and Thunder, which also had the exact same tier 3 mod of Strings of Gore. So we've already looked at this already, but shot steel, 79,155 electric damage, up to 5 enemies in a 5 meter radius from the shot, and this refreshes every 2 seconds, but this time we are looking at a single gun rather than a pair of pistols, and this revolver packs a nice meaty punch. That's right, this has a clip size of 6, has a rounds per minute of 361, which ironically is the exact same rounds per minute that the Bolt and Thunder actually possesses, being 2 guns, which is a bit strange. The damage is a massive 10,526 on this, and this is a 72,000 firepower variant, which I think is kind of on the high end for when it comes to sidearms. I haven't seen many go too much higher above that. The reload is quite quick at 1.6 seconds, and the crit multiplier is a nice 200%. Now, revolvers compared to dual pistols basically have a lot less ammo compared to the dual pistols variant, and they fire as fast as you can spam the trigger, almost essentially, obviously depending on your trigger finger, and they pack a nice damage bonus kind of compared to it. So it deals massive DPS in one go, and then obviously you then have your reload compared to the fact that you can fire like 30 to 50 shots with the dual pistols, and obviously spread it out amongst all that. Now, while revolvers do look amazing on paper when you look just at their item card, they are very difficult to be able to use. They have a lot of recoil behind them. You have to be in close quarters to be able to get the full max potential that the gun can actually dish out, otherwise you're doing basically throwing frozen peas at an enemy. And they do have such a tiny clip size that you will be constantly reloading. Now, the 10.5k damage that comes with this is brilliant. You will be able to actually survive based on that damage just by itself, and if you ever are able to hit critical shots with this, the 200% crit multiplier on top of that easily would be able to escalate you so much further. I do feel like this would go nice on a firepower build, but I don't think the Technomancer is the best one to show this off, just due to the fact that the Technomancers don't benefit from close range damage. Now if this went on to something kind of like a Devastator, which doesn't have a rounds based skill but obviously can go into like the bleed, or a Trickster, I think a Trickster may be able to pull this one off a little bit better. It's just obviously a case of managing your ammo to be able to consistently keep it up and keep it stocked up as well. I've paired this with a tier 3 mod of Winter's Blast, one because the blast radius is roughly equal to Strings of Gore, it's a little bit smaller, but I also didn't want to add on a damage mod that increases it further, because one, I want to show off what the gun can currently do, and then from there you will be able to add on top of it, and also I thought it would be better to kind of show off what the tier 3 mod can do as well, so I'm not relying on other Legendary Guns modifiers to be able to show you the true extent of what this gun actually can do. Now theoretically, if you were to go down a pistol route to try and make some kind of build to be able to go forward, obviously to have a little bit of fun, not necessarily competitively, my personal opinion would be that you would be choosing between the 2 revolvers that are in this game, so the Disintegrator or the Lucky. Now that kind of comes down to personal preference, but I think it kind of also comes down to which of the tier 3 mods is better. Now Strings of Gore is a bit more consistent with its damage and obviously being able to spread it out, but the Lucky seems to refresh its tier 3 mod a lot faster, and is able to deal a bit more damage through that by itself. So it kind of does boil down to a bit of personal preference, and I do stand by the fact that I think the Lucky is the best backup weapon that's in this game, but that does not exactly mean that there's a high bar for it to actually achieve, and the Disintegrator is no means an unfortunate second place in that. It is very kind of close, and like I said, it is just due to the fact of which one do you have available, and which one do you actually prefer the look of, or actually prefer the sound of the tier 3 mod. Do you want something that's a bit more consistent, or do you want something that you actually do have to get critical shots to be able to inflict that extra DPS? As with the Bolt and Thunder video, the Disintegrator is okay. It's kind of niche, it's nice to have on your person, but you will never really reliably fall back and use this gun. Similar to the tier 3 mod, you will never really rush to be able to have this mod on any of your guns out there. It's fun to use, it's fun to mess around with, and it's really nice to be able to pair with something like a Thunderbird, to be able to look at all this lightning that keeps going around the battlefield and just visually be appealing. But when it comes to speed runs or anything that's between competitively getting gold when it comes to CT13s to 15, I don't think it really matches up to that, and it just obviously before you even get to 15, the damage will scale down because you haven't got to let CT fit to be able to equip level 50 gear yet. So it's kind of a pass when it comes to both, but if you were to have a bit of a mess around, I would recommend using this revolver with either Dark Sacrifice if you can keep yourself healed, or Killing Spree, which would probably be the safer one, because obviously this is a revolver and you obviously it gives you a bit more freedom to be able to get those kills, to be able to ramp it all the way up, or Embalmer's Rage. And I think Embalmer's Rage potentially could be the better one out of all of them, just due to the fact that the crit multiplier is just so much higher at 200%. I think you might be able to actually get a bit more out of that. So I'm going to put that as my tier 1 or my top tier choice for another mod to be able to pair this with. And that is it, ladies and gents, Babylonians. I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay that's in the background. I hope you've learned something useful as well, and I hope that I have done the Disintegrator some justice in what it actually is and what it brings to the table. If you have enjoyed and you've learned something useful with us, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. It would mean the world to us. We are starting to see it grow, and I'm also having communications with both Ben and Dan when it comes to doing a subscriber giveaway to be able to get us that little bit of extra push, because obviously the channel is starting to grow. So if we can get to around about the 200 mark, then I will be forcing their hand, and we'll be putting something out there as well. So keep your eyes peeled on that. Also, obviously we're partnered with Raffled Up, which you saw at the start, so if you are looking to be able to get yourself some of those raffle tickets for some of that nice tech that's out there, make sure you follow our link and use code BABBLE at the checkout, be able to save yourself a nice 5% on all of that. So you might as well save a little bit of money, might as well. And there, that pretty much wraps it up. So I hope you enjoyed. Keep yourself safe, keep yourself well, and I shall see you on that next video.